Hey YouTube, Lacrosse Meets Metal. Kind of a quick, maybe it'll be long video. I don't know, it just depends. On how to read a sidewall pattern. I had a Instagram follower friend of mine, whatever you want to call it, follower friend. He's pretty cool. Suggests that I make a video because he wanted some help how to read sidewall patterns. So to help today, I have my Warrior Evo 3 that I just restrung with 20 millimeter East Coast mesh. Nice little mid pocket, and it has a really good channel, but I don't feel like doing it. So because this is a sidewall video. Anyways, let me pull up the pattern on this, and then I will explain how it works and how to read it. This pattern I did not get from a database or anything like that. My clutch I got from a database. I did get my clutch from a database, for sure. I'm not even kidding. But the one on my Evo I made up, so actually turned out really good. While I'm looking for this thing, quick shout out to Greg from East Coast Dies on making the video on how, it was kind of one a while back where he made a tutorial on how to do all the knots, because it really helped. And so shout out to Greg and the East Coast Dice crew. Anyways, let's see. So the pattern for my Evo, I think I called it a mid-mid-low, but that might be a mid right there. It shifts though. It's tie second, 0 I S I 2 1 I 0 tie. Now that may seem kind of really confusing. You're like, what does that even mean? Well, let's take the first four. The tie second, 0 I S I. Let's do first five. So second, tie second, 0 I S I 2. Or SI. Anyways, so by tie second, you can see there's three different string here. Well, these two string right here, these two strings are taking up the first hole in the sidewall because that's my triangle top string. So tie second basically means that I'm going to tie a sidewall on the next available sidewall, which is the second one. There's 1, 2, 3, and then all the rest down. So it's a tie second, so I did here, and then it's a skip or a 0. As a pattern is, a 0 is a skip. So I skipped this next hole. So tie second, 0, and then I did an I, so there's an interlock, and then I did an SI, so here's an SI, and then I did another interlock, here's an interlock, and then just do another one, here's a 2. So basically, what I do is, well, how many, okay, let's say it says tie second. Okay, well, I tied second. Well, now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 sidewall holes after the tie second that are open. Well, basically, to me, on that pattern, every, let's say, let's do this again. Let's say that 0 over here, 0 I S I 2. That's after the tie second. So it's 0 I S I 2. There's 5. So then I know it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know that I'm going to be using 5 holes. I basically, if there's an interlock and then an SI, I go interlock, SI, interlock, SI. To make it really simple is for every little part of a pattern, whether it's an I or an SI or a 0, always go the next hole. So if it says tie second, tie second. If it doesn't, you could tie up here in the first. point being, I'm really trying to explain this without making it sound too difficult, is that basically you match up every single hole in the sidewall with a knot or a skip. So if it says do 4 interlocks after you tie second, well, tie your second and then go interlock, 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 interlock. Don't skip any holes unless there is a 0 in the pattern. Then you skip a hole in the sidewall, but not in the mesh. There are times it'll say skip hole in mesh, and I think I've done that before, but go through the sidewall but skip a hole in the mesh and go to the next hole in the mesh. But to make it less confusing, again, just go in order of the sidewall. Go top to bottom, left to right on the pattern, and just make sure that unless it says a 0 like this, don't skip any holes in the mesh or don't in the sidewall. Don't skip any holes in the sidewall if it has a 0. If it specifies a hole in the mesh being skipped, go through the sidewall hole, but go to the next hole of mesh. So, like, if this was a, let's say it said interlock but skip a hole in mesh, so I do an interlock, but I had to respond like that. I don't know. But anyways, just go top to bottom. Don't skip any holes unless it has 0, and just make sure that what I like to do is before I string it, I look at the pattern and I'll count. Okay, so it's a tie second, it's a 0, or and then it's an I, then an SI, then an I, then a 2, then a SI, then a 1, and then a tie or whatever. I just messed up my own pattern, but still there. Anyways, count how many holes there are, and just make sure. I mean, sometimes I guess you can tie on the second to last one, but I make sure that the pattern, I won't say forces, but makes me tie on the last sidewall. So I hope that helped, dear Instagram friend who I don't really know, but cool. Really, you are. Don't doubt that. Anyways, if you want some more tutorials, leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best. This is my first tutorial ever, so I really hope that helped. And with that, this is Lacrosse Meets Metal, and I am signing off.